All aboard your Tech in Games caboose. We have some Bill and Melinda Gates going over their annual letter. Marques gets a interview, Division gets a open beta, and some more Apex updates, along with some stuff from yesterday. So let's jump into, Bill and Melinda Gates give their 2019 annual letter. They go over their 9 big surprises, and Marques gets to interview Bill Gates, which is pretty cool for tech YouTubers. And he gets to ask a couple questions. They go over the foundational letter. Bill Gates summarizes a little bit, and basically new innovations, things going well, things not going well, and they're all a bunch of surprises. So they talk a little bit about that. They talk about a couple of the electric car, different hurdles and stuff between not just cars and truck and transportation, everything. So it's a pretty big deal. And then they talk a little bit about AI and how Bill Gates' take on it and all the different health aspects he likes out of that. And then they also find about jumping over a chair, along with a bunch of other stuff, but it's pretty cool. He apparently says he can still jump over a chair, at least Marques takes it that way, so pretty interesting. Check out the whole video. It's a 10.5-minute interview. It's pretty cool. But let's talk a little bit more about the annual letter. So there were some surprising things. We'll just touch on a couple of them. But Africa is the youngest continent. So basically what they're talking about is the median age there is just 18, where in North America it is 35. So the world keeps getting older, but Africa is basically staying the same age. And he has a short little video you can read, actually listen along with, read the whole letter, which is pretty long, but we're just going to touch on a couple of the things. So that was a big surprise to them, it looks like. They talk about some DNA testing. And then we will build an entire New York City every month. So this talks a little bit about the greenhouse gas emission, and 25% of it is electric generation. So they get a little bit of talking in the Marques interview about that. But manufacturing is 21%. So there's some pretty big pillars in gas emission by sector. This was back from 2014, so it might have changed just a little bit, but pretty interesting read for this one. And then there's a couple interactive ones you can guess. So their surprise number 4 was that data can be sexist. So originally my first hour may have been, how much time do girls spend on chores and boys? So 9 hours is apparently the wrong answer. So depending on what they're talking about, chores, taking out the trash, mowing the lawn, it could differ, especially where you are in the world, depending on what chores you do. So the answer is we don't know, and that's the problem. So a lot of this letter talks about a bunch of the different analytics stuff and about statistics and stuff. So it looks like they're doing tons of research into a lot of this stuff. So interesting there. And then you can learn about a lot about your processing your anger from teenage boys. So pretty interesting there. And then there's a couple more about globalism. And then one was the modern flush toilet patent. And me not watching too many old movies, guess 1903, which is wrong. Apparently 1775 is when it was patented, and they give you a little bit more details. So 800, why this is a big surprise and important, this is killing 800 children every day. So environmental issues untreated. So they talk about Bill Gates actually checking out some next-gen toilets and some of the ways that this can be improved in the future. A couple of them are needs of fast-growing urban areas and don't require sewer infrastructure. So some of the newer technologies are helping. Plus, they won't need external water sources or continuous electricity to operate. So it looks like there's going to be some pretty good next-gen toilets if they can get them out, which they are business ready. You just, I guess, funding or something. So check out this. You'll be able to read a little bit more into this, but that is potentially saving lives around the world. So pretty good. And then textbooks, this is a little bit more techy. Textbooks are becoming obsolete because they basically can't tell whether if someone's learning from them or not. But basically through a tablet, you would be able to get interactive videos to learn about different subjects along with text, obviously. And then you could play games with that, and then online quizzes to actually help you learn better and get it more interactive. And engagement is obviously the biggest thing with learning potentially. So that is something that Gates have been going into a lot with education and spending billions of dollars into it and pretty much helping out quite a bit, which is pretty cool. And then the last one is mobile phones are most powerful in the hands of the poorest women. So this goes into a bunch of different things. specifically about women who have never stepped into a bank could basically get into mobile banking, some potential careers and jobs opportunities, and the stigma when you ask for contraceptives at your local clinic. So you could get that delivered to you. So pretty interesting. And then there's a quick little 1-2 minute thing where they do a game, and she talks a little bit about that, and Bill talks a little bit about electricity and stuff. So pretty interesting and fun. Some laughs in there if you want to check out that. That's on that Bill Gates YouTube. So pretty cool stuff. I'll link the letter and everything else below along with the tech interview. So pretty cool stuff to read about and watch. And then we have one other tech little topic. Amazon is doing Coachella lockers. So they're going to have like lockers that you can order stuff when you're at the festival on the 2 different dates, 12th to the 14th and 19th to the 21st. So if you're going to the festival, you can order stuff like sun hats, mobile phone chargers, and camping gear, and a bunch of other stuff. And then it looks like this is going to be updated a little bit closer to the dates. So they're going to be doing some more mobile lockers where you can order stuff and get stuff right at the festival. Eventually they'll just have drones come over and just drop stuff wherever your mobile device is. Hopefully that'd be pretty interesting in the future. So pretty cool stuff there. And then we have a couple game newses. We have the Division 2. This was kind of leaked on a live stream, but the open beta now has been officially launched, or going to be launched on March 1st to the 4th. So you can get in this by accessing the beta on thedivision.com/beta, and you'll get 3-4 days to check this out in an open forum with a bunch of other people stress testing servers and potentially having issues. But there is that, so get ready for that. And then we talked a little bit about Apex in yesterday's video, but they have some more news. They have the 1 week recap. So basically there is going to be some competitive stuff going on with Twitch Rivals Apex Legends Challenge. So 48 of the biggest streamers will be competing live in Apex Legends. That is today, the 12th. And then next on the 19th, looks like a final challenge ending there. And then there is also going to be some stuff coming this week to celebrate Valentine's Day with themed loot. So you can get some pretty pink stuff, it looks like, coming up. And then the next season is kicking off in March. They're just giving everyone a reminder. So your battle pass will get pretty good cosmetic-y loot stuff. So you'll be able to look pretty cool. And then they have a new number of 25 million players. So they reached 10 million in the first 72 hours. Now they're at 25 million within the first week, it looks like. And because it's only really been out a week. And 2 million concurrent players at the peak. That was over the weekend. So it's getting pretty popular. Lots of people are downloading the free-to-play Battle Royale. So you might want to check it out. There's a lot of cool abilities and class system stuff to check out too. So we have Battlefield 5 with their update today. So you will be getting the return of Rush Mode, Combined Arms Co-op. So more multiplayer stuff, a new Grand Operation, new rewards to earn, and there's a little breakdown. You can check out all the different cards and stuff and everything to read about that. But Chapter 2, Lightning Strikes. That wasn't a lightning sound, but there is also here's the whole patch notes. That's really long. Just a small little mention about RTX stuff. If you have a ray tracing graphics card, that has been further optimized, as well as DLSS, deep learning super sampling, has been finally added. We learned about that a couple of weeks ago, and that has been added today. So you'll get more FPS by turning that on, and big performance upgrade. And then there's also, here's the little cards you can check out, answer some questions for Battlefield 5's update. So cool there. And speaking of the RTX, we were just mentioning, Steam hardware survey reveals how many people have the RTX and Vega cards. So pretty interesting. From this, we get to see actual Steam hardware survey for January. And here's a breakdown of everything, but the graphics card specifically, which is what we were looking at, is pretty interesting. Not super interesting because we kind of knew the sales weren't doing too well from NVIDIA's financial report. So basically we get to see Vega at 0.16%, which, just for the reference, we have the GTX 1060 at 14.8% in January. It was higher in December and then dropped a little bit in January, potentially to people switching to RTX cards or something, or just upgrading in general. So the RTX cards, where are they? They're pretty low down here somewhere, if I remember where they are. Does anyone see RTX yet? I'm not sure. Let's do Control F, RTX. Here we go. 2080 Ti is pretty much near the bottom at 0.15%. And then we have the 2080 at 0.09. And then RTX 27 at 0.16. So that is pretty low down on the list. So ray tracing not taking off too well, pretty expensive, but there you have it. And we have Frank saying all aboard. Apparently you like the intro. And Mark saying, hey brah, how's it? Apparently you're talking in the chat to each other. Cool beans. We will have another episode tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific with some more tech and game news. With that, we will be signing out. Pew, 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 pew.